start in a nice kneeling position on our mats. Come up onto the knees, stand on the knees and tuck your toes underneath. Bring your heels to touch as much as possible. You can encourage them with the hands and make sure all the toes are tucked underneath. Then sit down onto your heels. This is a really nice foot stretch, toe squat. And sitting here for a few breaths. Now this might feel a little bit intense. If it does, just come up off the feet and come back down when you're ready. Making sure all toes are tucked underneath and trying to find some relaxation here. Inhaling, exhaling. We often forget about the feet when we're stretching. And they can certainly get a lot of tightness in them. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, trying to relax. Last full breath, inhale, exhale, inhale, bring the hands down. Let the toes untuck. Come onto the toenails now and sit down onto your heels. If kneeling is really not very comfortable for you, I'd advise you get a block, maybe a cushion, maybe a rolled up blanket, and sit onto that. That might help you a little bit here. If you're fine kneeling, then take your hands behind you and just stay here for a moment. If this feels okay for you, start to lift the knees away from the ground. So we're trying to feel the stretch in the middle of the foot, an ankle stretch here. Nice counter pose for the foot, the toe squat that we just did. Only go as far as feels good for you. Don't overstretch here. Don't find yourself in any pain. A bit of discomfort is all right, but a lot of discomfort or any pain, back off. Don't want to be feeling any pain. We're just waking the body up. Inhaling, exhaling, relaxing. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, walking the hands in, letting the knees gently come down to the earth. And gently taking the head down now. So keeping your seat connected with the heels, the big toes touching. Bring your forehead down to the ground and come into a nice Balasana here. You can have your knees together or you could have them wide as the mat. You can have your hands by your sides or even stretched out in front of you. If your seat doesn't meet your heels, again a block or a cushion or a blanket is really useful here, just to bring the heels towards the bum in an artificial kind of way. Blocks are so useful for our practice if we're new to yoga, or even if we're more advanced, you know. Blocks are so helpful. Props can always help us in many different poses. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, looking forwards now. And exhaling, coming back onto the seat once more. Now we're going to just come back onto our knees, stand up on our knees and let our feet come about mat width distance apart. So the knees are kind of pulling in together. They don't have to be touching if that's not available for you. You can have them hip width distance, but if you can, bring the knees to sort of touch. Grab a hold of the calf muscles and roll them out as you come to sit in between your feet. So your seat is coming in between the feet here. If this isn't available for you, again, a block can be really nice. Put it under the seat and that should feel a little bit nicer for you. Put it this way would be better, hey? Or if not, if that still feels no good, come back to kneeling or modified kneeling. If you feel okay here in your Virasana, you can start to bring the hands behind you. If this starts to feel intense, stay here. If you still want a little bit more in those quads and in the back, come down to the forearms. Or if you know that you have a lot more availability in this position, come all the way down onto the back. but only if this feels comfortable in your thighs and in your back. Find what variation suits you and stay there for a few breaths. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Trying to inhale and exhale through the nose, keeping the lips sealed as much as possible. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, beginning to lift yourself back up out of Virasana, coming on to the forearms, then onto the hands, and coming back to a seated position. Take the hands out in front of you and come into tabletop position. Roll over the knees or come in any way that suits you best. From here, inhaling, bring the left foot in between the hands. So we're coming into a low lunge here. So we want the knee to be in line with the ankle, the left knee on top of the left ankle. We want our hands to be either side of the foot, and we're feeling the stretch into our hip flexor here, our right hip flexor. So we really want to try and push that hip flexor towards the ground. No force here though, don't force it down, but just let gravity take it down. Try not to be up too high. Let that work come into the hip flexor. Again, our blocks can be really useful here. We can use them on whatever height we want them to be. Here, 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 wherever feels good for you. Or your hands can be to the floor flat or onto little spider fingers, your choice. Inhaling, exhaling, waking up the hip flexors. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, just releasing the neck. Doesn't have to be doing anything special. We're just stretching, not trying to be kind of perfectly aligned, not trying to do anything beautiful today. Just stretching and breathing. Inhaling here and exhale, step the left foot back, coming into tabletop. Exhaling and inhaling, sending the right foot forwards and feeling the stretch into the left hip flexor now. Again, noticing whether your knee is on top of your ankle. If it's too far forward, come back. Too far back, come forward. Use your blocks, whatever suits you. Find your stretch. Really feel it into the hip flexor. You could tuck the back toes under if you're having any trouble with your knee. And also, again, a cushion or a blanket or a scarf or a bit of clothing underneath the knee can help if you get any knee issues here. We're not staying for long though, so you should be okay. But obviously I'm not in your body. You are, you know your body better than anybody. So, you know, do what's best for you. A few more inhales and exhales here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Step the right foot back to meet the left in tabletop. Now from here, we're going to shift our shoulders over our wrists and taking the elbows into the ribs. Use your core to come all the way down to the mat. Shuffle yourself back. If you're going to hit the fire, great. Now bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and prop yourself up onto your forearms, coming into a Sphinx position. Now your legs don't need to be together here. You can have them wider. Again, we're not looking for the most beautiful, what am I trying to say? I don't know. Anyway, we're not looking for like perfect alignment here. What we're looking for is to feel a little bit of compression in the back and a nice stretch. That's all we want. And here you can have your neck released. You can have it upright. Find what works for you. If this is too much into the back here, just move the elbows a little bit further out in front of you. Letting the back release a little bit further. Find where works for you. If you're not feeling anything at all, bring your hands out mat width distance apart and sort of turn the fingers slightly out. So turn them slightly out here. Push down into the hands, push down into the palms, extend through the elbows and let your groin really push down into the earth, finding a deeper back bend here. If you want even more, you can bend into the knees. But again, we're not trying to win any competitions here, just trying to stretch out, just trying to wake up the body and release any tension. A few more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhaling, coming onto the palms, sending your hips back and coming into a seated position, a cross-legged seated position in the middle of your mat, wherever you like. Cross your legs however feels good for you. Inhale, take the shoulders out to shoulder, so take the hands to shoulder height and cross your right arm on top of your left. So here you want your the cross of your arms to be on top, above your elbow if you can. If you can't, then just stay where you can do. From here, if it feels good, start to bring the back of your hands to touch in a nice little shoulder stretch. If you want even more, try to double wrap the arms and bring the palms of the hands to touch. Now from here, wherever you are, start to lift the elbows up so that they're in your line of sight. And stay here. Inhaling, exhaling. Try to keep the back straight here. Inhaling, exhaling. Drawing the seat into the ground but drawing the hands up towards the sky. Inhaling, feeling this lovely stretch across the shoulders. Exhaling. Inhaling here. And exhaling, extending the arms to that T-shape, shoulder height. And exhale now, take the left arm on top of the right, cross above the elbow if available, and bring the backs of the hands to touch, or the front of the hands. Feel that stretch, feel how it changes. Now lift the elbows into your line of sight, drawing the hands up towards the ceiling. Inhale, try not to lean forward or back here. Try to keep everything in line. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. The hands come, release the bind and bring them down to your knees. And to take a few neck stretches now before we carry on with our days. Inhaling, look up to the ceiling now. Open the throat a little bit. Exhale, look down towards the ground. Bring the chin towards the chest. Inhaling, looking up. Being gentle with the neck here, don't overstrain it. Exhale, looking down. Inhale, up once more. Exhale, down. Inhale, looking forwards. And exhale, looking over to the right. Again, not overstraining. Inhale to centre. Exhale, left. Inhale, centre. Exhale, right. Inhale, centre. Exhale, right. Left. Inhale, centre. Exhale, right. Inhale, centre. Exhale, left. Inhale, back to the centre. And exhale, take the chin down to the chest. And start to bring the right ear over the right shoulder. And then let the chin come up towards the ceiling. Circling round, left ear to left shoulder, chin towards chest. Do this side for a few times. Circling over to the right and round to the left. When you've done 3, come back the other way, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder, circling up and round. Up and round. Gentle circles. Nice. Once you've done 3 on each side, bring the chin to the chest. And inhale, start to lift the chin. Roll the shoulders down, sit up nice and tall. Take a breath. And feel all the benefits of this very short practice.